this about Asmongold and about reforge. So let's see about this. I think this is about yes, Asmongold advice. Let's see.
Everybody wants to be the best, but to be the best, you have to be obsessed. 12 to 18 hours a day, that's what it's going to take to be the best. If you think that it's not, you're not going to be the best. But you can be good,
Yeah,
and if you set your goals to being good, you can be good. First step is that you set unrealistic goals, and the second step is that you meet them. What I would do first thing, play smart, not hard. Play smart, not hard. And that's really important, as I said, because if you're spending all your time focusing on one thing and there's another faster way to do it, you've wasted your time. Okay.
yeah. To be honest, that's true. And I think why is it becoming more like a guru in this video? I guess it's because of the music, but yeah, I think also be having an unrealistic goals and meeting them was really hard to be honest, but it is able but almost all people can do that to be honest, but it's hard to do that and not all people can do hard things. But on what he said, at least 16 or 18 hours is practicing it, I guess. But for me, since I'm a child, I don't have goals in life. I'm just doing the things that I want. But right now, to be honest, the goal that I want was a little bit hard, but for me, it's achievable. And if I do that, I can say that I really become more happy than ever in my life and will become more comfortable like how comfortable I am right now. And it will just goes back to how comfortable I am even I'm adult. So if having that goal and meeting them and changing the things that you need to change, approving the things that you need to improve, I mean, and like he said also, playing smart, not hard, because time was more precious than things, because it really is not just times on relationship, times on other people's, but some people also will think that time was money, something like that, or they will think that the time that they have was almost considered as how much money can make is what my opinion is.
And if you start thinking, hey, you know, I'm never gonna get there, you don't think that. You keep your head in the clouds and your feet on the ground.
Yeah. If you become more negative on that kind of things, you won't get that. That's why you need to be positive. I can say that much more becoming more positive from that was also a good thing, but it's also not that good. That's why much better to just focus on it because even though that you can think positive things on that kind of things, it can also burn you out. And that's why thinking that you can do it, but there will be mistakes in the ways or in the path that you will take, just stick on it and be consistent, discipline on the things that you do, and you will get it in few years or time.
You have your goal in your head, and then at the same time, you're going 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, and before you know it, you're at 21,000.
Yeah, he's saying that just focus on that goal and you don't know that you are already improving and that's why you just focus on it because if you are not focused on it and you just focus on if you are actually improving, you are not going to improve. So just do it. Just I guess gets better on it or change the things that you might see that can improve the things that can achieve your goal much more faster and have fun on doing it. Because I think also that process was also the way or the fun on doing things.
Thing that I do is I focus on just getting the wins, and I focus on the biggest goal, and I assume that the other smaller goals will happen along the way. Ahead and say, hey, I'm gonna get this done, and then you say, how am I gonna get it done? Even if it seems unrealistic, you figure out how to do it, and then you do it.
Yeah. that kind of thinking always in his video. And I have a goal like this. How can I get that kind of goal? Oh, okay. I can get that goal on doing this kind of things. So I will do it. Eh, and that's all. And if there's another problem will happen, you will just ask that, okay, I have this kind of problems. How can I solve it? And okay, so I can solve it this kind of way, or I can solve it when I do this, so I'm going to do this. That's all. And that's simple. He said also on some of his video, simple things wasn't easy. They are simple, but it doesn't mean that they are easy to do. Some of them was really hard, and that's why it's also hard to do that kind of things, even though you know that it's simple to do. The problem was being consistent, being disciplined, or having fun on doing that kind of things was so hard. So that's why that simple way of thinking.
If you have the mindset, you can do it. You have
Yeah,
your larger goal in the back of your mind, but at the same time, you're going forward one step at a time, doing what you need to do, getting it.
yeah. Thinking about your goal only and not the other things. You will just always think about it and just focus on it, that as long as you won't say to yourself that you cannot do it because you know you can, or even if you don't know that you can, you still say to yourself that you can do it and I will do it. That way you can at least force yourself to do it, even though the discipline, the consistency, and the drive was gone. Because I think if all of that was gone, it is already discipline on yourself to do that thing, because you know that thing can also makes you happy.
Achievements. That's it. You've got to be a self-starter. You can't expect somebody else to do everything for you. How are you going to get this done? Not how is somebody else going to get it done. Not how is this going to get done. No, how are you going to get this done? You cannot expect other people to go to bat for you.
Yeah, he also said that in some of his videos that you cannot expect other people to help you on doing that, because like he also said that on just do the things that you want, because if you do the things that you want, it means that if you really want that kind of things, you can do it even though you don't get money from it, and you will just do it because you have a passion and drive that you want to do that kind of things. And if you have a goal, you don't have someone to help you. So if there's other people that will get hostile on you, there's no one who will help you on that, or it might also turn against you, that kind of person. So you are the one who will have a hard time. You are the one that will have a lot of thinking, a lot of blame, and you will get stressed on that kind of things. Much more if you don't like what you are doing and you get that kind of things just because of the mistakes, you will really feel burnout to the point that you might be able to quit on what you do. So much more better for me is to do the things that I want. And if I do that, even though that there will be no people who will help me on this kind of things, but me, and if ever other peoples that will support me, then it's still okay for me, even though I will get a mistake that will happen along the way, and I can fight it back because I want the things that I do. And I'm not going to get controlled, or I'm not going to quit this because I love doing this.
You go bat for yourself and you get shit done. It comes down to you. It's not about somebody else getting you the achievement. It's about you getting the achievement, and that's what it's about.
And yeah, about that, it's about you. It's not about somebody else. Things, if you have a goal, it's your choice if you really want that goal or not. Because there's other people out there that also he said, and to be honest, I'm one of them, that I know I can be popular. No, not really, really popular, but at least a little bit popular to the point that I can at least earn some money to help other people's like my family on the things that they need and or do the things that I want. I know that I can do that. The problem is I choose not to do that. And that's the thing. No one will help me. So it's my choice if I will do that or not. So right now, to be honest, problem was those in front of me so that I can notice that problem. So now there's no point on thinking on things because of the fear that I think over and over again because of streaming and YouTube things or other things. It just makes me focus to solve that problem instead and knowing that no one will help me.
Going to get this done. Not how is somebody else going to get it done. Not how is this going to get done. No, how are you going to get this done? You cannot expect other
See?
people to go to bat for you. You go bat for yourself and you get shit done.
Yeah,
It comes down to you. It's not about somebody else getting you the achievement. It's
yeah,
about you getting the achievement, and that's what it's about.
yeah,
And it's like, let me tell you something. Realize your own goals, and that way it's going to help you meet them in the long run. That's what it counts.
yeah. Just knowing your goal. That's all. Because to be honest, I have this thinking before that it's really cool that if somebody or someone will get their parents to have been able to eat a good meal with them on the restaurant, or even if they can give money to them to make them retired or help your dad to have his favorite car was really, really good and really, really dreamlike. And to be honest, that's my dream. It's not having a car, it's not having to go into a restaurant, but just giving them what they need is already enough for me. It's already enough for me because that's what they want. Because I know them to the point that if I get to have at least $1 million in my savings, they will and I will give them the 500 or even 750 if I would like to if I would like to. They will just get the things that they need. They will just compute it and get the things that they need and they will give it back to me. They will just say that I should save it or I should buy the things that I want because that's how my parents are. And to be honest, I'm grateful that they are like that. And that's why I'm also grateful that they are there. Even though that there might be a problem, I know that that problem, the one that can solve it is either me or I will just accept it or move on. And that's all because that's really is moving on the problems, not thinking about that kind of problems or solving that kind of problems. And yeah, that's all. I think that having a goal like that was already enough for me. And having a goal was really eye opening to the point that you won't need other people's opinion to do that kind of thing because it's not bad. It's not something like you did a crime. It's not something like you hurt somebody. No, much better you help somebody because to be honest, there will be a lot of streamer that is nuisance already. There's a lot of streamer that really doesn't have or isn't grateful on what they have. Or streamers that isn't humble or would like to boost on what they have or what they get. And that's why I think being that person, I think was already good enough for me. I can also do that having more real unrealistic goal was also a good thing for me. And I know that I will have fun doing it, but I can also say that it's also good enough for me to just have that kind of goal. And if I achieve that goal, I will just create another one, right? Just create another one and just be humble on what you have. That's why I also like to have respect on other people because I also see that other people's or other same age as me was doesn't have respect even on elders. And that's why I can see that having respect on something or in someone was really good. And to the point that it's really powerful if you think about it. That some of the other people that have a really bad thing or bad day in their life, and you will just respect them or understand them on what they are doing, they just change. That's how powerful it is. For me, I guess I'm just a nice guy before in my middle school. That's why I can say this kind of things. But I just realized it that being a nice guy or humble guy wasn't that bad, to be honest. But it's still needed to realize what your intention is. Because if you are going to be a nice guy and your intention was bad, then it's not really a nice thing. That's why being a humble person was much more better, because even though that you can get mistakes, you know that you have a better or good intention, that you make a mistake and you want to say sorry about it. And that's, to be honest, that's also what I like about Asmongold. It's really humble and saying the truth, that I need to realize to myself that having uncontrollable emotion was not a good thing. It might be a bad thing, but it doesn't really not that bad if you are honest on it, because it can just, ano bang tawag nito? You're just expressing that emotion because that's normal. It's normal to be angry. It's normal to be jealous, envy, on this kind of things, but much better to at least control it. And like on envy, just be grateful on it, then don't have fear on it. Yes. And other things. I learned so much about even critical thinking and decision or choices. And yeah, I think that's all. There's so many things that I already realized or I already learned on his other video. But this makes me also more motivated. And I think that's a good thing on its own, but being motivated cannot really help you that much because it's just a fire. But if that motivation doesn't have discipline and consistency, that fire can just turn off, because fire needs some kind of fuel. So if you are motivated and there's no discipline and consistency on it, that fire will just go away, and you will wait again for that fire to ignite. So that's all for what I want to say. And this might be the video that I will post. And yeah, I'm also learning about English. That's why this is how I speak English. And I always have some kind of pause. Sorry about that. And that's all for today. Have a nice day, everyone. And see you next time.